Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of the Indie String podcast. And I'm just gonna start with a little bit of administrative. And the first thing is, I've no show notes this week, so we're flying solo. See how that works. It's the first time ever. I want to thank you everyone who went and joined the Ravelry group this week. We are at 48 members, just 2 away from a giveaway. So hopefully this next week we'll be able to give away a pattern. Super excited about that. And so I'm going to have a little bit of warnings here. The first is that I have no show notes. You know that already. And the second is that it's been light on the knitting, but I have lots to talk about because I went to a fiber festival. So like the extras, the enabling, the rants and raves, all of that is going to be the majority of the episode. So forgive me. It's the way it is this week, people. So what I have started to do is one project. I'm not going to say it right. You ever do that where you can totally hear it in your head, but you try to say it out loud and you sound like you have a speech impediment? Happens to me all the time. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. So what I've been doing is I've been focusing on the shawl projects that are for a shower gift for my cousin. She doesn't watch this, so we're going to show all the progress. But I'm working on the Tilt by, I think it's Lila, and it's from the Wool People 5. I just want that lady's hair. Another thing, I look at this every week, and I'm like, dang, I want her hair. It is cute. Whew. But I'm knitting this out of Western Sky Knits in this single superwash base in the colorway Vamp, and it just looks like a blob right now. And I'll try to get you the center as I did last week, but it's quite a bit bigger. Oh, awesome. I'm super excited about it. I still love it to pieces. And it's getting a little bit too much for these needles. Look at how bunched up that is, right? Whew, it's crazy. I'm at, I believe, 300 and some stitches, so the rounds are starting to take me a while. My goal, although I'm falling a bit short of it this week, is that I'm trying to finish a chart repeat a week, which will get harder and harder and harder the bigger and bigger it gets. So I'm almost through the second chart, chart B. I have to do this chart twice, but I'm almost all the way through, and I'm just excited. The pattern is starting to become super intuitive, so I only have to look at the charts once every 3 to 4 rounds to make sure I'm on track, and I really love it. Kind of love everything about this right now. I love the single ply yarn. I like how it looks. It's on my signature size 5 double points, which is super nice for lace because they're super pointy, and it's my happiness. It really is. Oh, so wordmate, staying on track with that, and hopefully you don't get too bored of it. I'm really thinking that, man, that's boring. First of all, it just looks like a total complete blob, and the second off, I'm not making like crazy progress. So after this next chart section, which is more of the main body, the next stuff is getting into the edging, and hopefully that will be a little bit more inspiring. But I think by the time I'm done, it's like 700 stitches. Wow, I've never knit a square shawl, so this is my first one. I've never knit a round shawl. So this is the first one that's not, I've done everything else, like the triangle, the semicircle, the all of those other shapes I have tackled and done. But it is significant to do a square or round shawl. But at least I love it, right? So that's it. That's all the knitting. 4 minutes in. But so what happened this week? And the spinning, I didn't spin this week. And really, even if I did, I would just tell you it's the same color. Well, I'm really uninteresting. And I'm really bad without show notes, right? All right, so this week we'll go into the festival. And it was a Black Sheep gathering was so fun. So that's held in Eugene, Oregon. It's a whole weekend, so it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, unfortunately, I had to work. That was a total bummer. So I didn't go, but I went on Saturday and on Sunday. And I met some people, which was fabulous. I met Chrissy the Great on Ravelry, and she has this Snappy Stitches podcast, and she is awesome. You should all go over there and watch her podcast. I've watched it for quite a while. I was like a little fanner. Like, I was like, I know you, right? But you don't really know me. But it's awesome. Ah. So that was great. So I got to meet her. We shopped a little bit. We went out to dinner, and it was so nice beyond words. It was nice to like sit with someone who understands. Yes, I'm slightly obsessed with knitting, but I like it, and you like it, and there was so much to talk about, and it was really great. So that was definitely the highlight. And the second thing that I did is I went to the wool show, and I didn't buy anything. Like, I didn't buy a fleece. I'm just not there yet. I said I wasn't going to buy one. I stuck to my guns. I mean, I would tell you it's tempting. Even though I want to do none of the prep work, it's still tempting to like look at it and smell sheepy goodness and be like, oh, I kind of want it. But I resisted on all accounts. Part of the reason why I wanted to go is to watch the madness. I have never seen this. I've never gone. I've lived here for over 8 years, and I've gone to the Black Sheep Festival almost every year, and I've never gone to the wool sale. It's high time, people. So they let you view the fleeces, and then you have to get in a line, and they open up the doors, and you need to walk, not run, and it's first come, first serve. So I was like, okay, sweet. So I'm at the back of the line because I don't care. Might as well let the people who really want something get in front of me. And we're walking in and shuffling in, and I got in last. There was people, they weren't running, but they were definitely scooting along. I mean, people were not taking their time. And at one point, saw a lady, and she had 2 fleeces in this hand, 2 fleeces in this hand, and she was kicking a fleece with each foot. And all I could think was, you are dedicated. 6 fleeces? And they weren't small. They were big ones. Bag, like 6 pounds. And yes, you're going to lose some of that with washing and everything else. So let's say each fleece, she gets the end product 4 pounds. Wow, that's a lot of fleece. This girl cannot do that much fleece. But so it was just kind of shocking and amazement. You know, it was like a whole new level that I could get to one day of this craft. It was kind of inspiring, to be perfectly honest. A little scary, but mostly inspiring. So there was a few people walking around like me, and they were just walking, and they were looking, and they were just, you know, kind of chill. And there was this one lady, and you could tell her she was focused. Like, I'm going to buy my wedding dress and the perfect one focused. Like, do not get in her way. She wasn't rude or anything, but she was quiet. There was no talking to her. She was on a mission. Then behind her is her husband. And he looked like you had killed his dog. He kind of had his head hanging, and he's shuffling behind her. And I was thinking, I gotta knock on this door and see if it answers. So I was like, hey, how are you? And he looks up and he looks at me and he's like, hi. I was like, oh, that's all I need, man. You opened up the door. I'm walking right through it. And I said, do you know what I noticed? What? He said, you have 2 hands. He's like, yeah. And I said, I bet you by the time, I said, you could have another fleece. She could have a fleece and you could have a fleece. He's like, no, we're only getting 1. So it was like snap decision. I don't even want to be here, let alone get 2. Literally 3 minutes later, his wife had a fleece, or girlfriend, and he had a fleece. And the poor man, like, it was like almost dragging on the ground. He looked like Linus with his blanket, and he looked so defeated. She was so happy, and he was on the other spectrum of more than disappointment, just complete almost denial. Like, I'm so sad. It was great. It was just fabulous. But so I try to like get his eye and be like, you got 2, right? I'm happy for you. he would not look at me again. He would not bring up his eyes like to meet the craziness that are our community. So that was crazy and fun. It was super interesting to walk around and read everything. I wasn't able to go to the judging because of another thing that we'll talk about later in the episode. But even reading the notes on the fleeces inside of it was uber interesting. Just really great. And so I learned a lot from that. And that's across the parking lot. So I walked back and I did the once through of the show. So I am totally like a marinated purchaser. I really like to think about things, like a lot. I don't really impulse shop, especially for my knitting stuff anymore. Anytime I impulse shop on my knitting, like 6 months later, I'm like, why did I buy that? I mean, a lot of times I still use it, but you know, I don't want to fall out of love with anything. And I got a ton of stuff. So I did the once around. And I only bought 2 things in the first day, which I thought was pretty astronomical. So let's show you those, shall we? And I'm sorry for the crinkling and the bag rustling and everything else because I did go back. I got more than 2 things on the second day, but here nor there. The first thing I got was from Barmaids. It's a recipe card, but it's the only business cardy thing I had to show you. And I got Lolo for feet's sake. So a slight review. I bought this because I knew I wanted it. I bought this last year and I have really dry legs. And while I like bars, and lots of people have bars and I love them, it's not super easy for me to apply to like my legs. It's such a greater surface area than just your hands. And this is like a deodorant stick. And it just, you can screw it up. I apply it right on my legs before I go to bed every night. And it totally helps me. And as a fun fact, my feet were getting really dry. And I was putting lotion on them all the time and I couldn't figure it out. When I started moisturizing, at least for me, my legs pretty heavily, it totally took care of my dry feet. So I don't know if like my body was sucking it up from my feet for my legs or what was going on there medically, but it totally works. I actually got 2 of these. I'm so excited. Because I ran out and it was like depressing. But I kept on thinking, I know they'll be there. I just got to hold out a little bit longer. Sorry, I got to take a drink. So the second thing I got is I'll try to hold up the thing. I should have taken it off. See, I wasn't thinking. Baby merino wool. 8.5 ounces. I actually got it cheaper than that. But I got it from a place called Crab Tree Farm. She's on Facebook, but she doesn't have a website. I wish, here, I'll try to stick the camera in there. So it's just really nice. Moving. It feels like clouds, people. Clouds. So there was only 2 of these. And I totally knew I had to have it when I felt it. It's super light, like air. The prep is super good. It wants to almost fall apart. There's no nuts in it. I just keep on, like every time I go by it in my house, I'm going, it's so soft. It's my pretty. So I'm excited about this. So we all know me. I like stuff that's prepared. And I'm sorry, because I'm bending down, it's kind of focusing weird. I'll try not to move so rapidly. So then on the second day I went back and I bought everything that struck a chord with me the day before. And some extra stuff that Chrissy helped me find. Because, you know, what are Fibery friends for other than enabling? Nothing. Well, that's not true, but really it's one of their best qualities. So I got anything that I just thought was cute. And also a lot of things that I liked from last year that I saw that I wanted. So I went to the lavender sheep, which I love that logo. Look at that little sheep. So happy. And look at it. I did that to them, and they smiled and everything. But then I think that like a look exchanged between them. Like, she a little go cray cray. She went cray cray on us. But it's, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I think it's so cute. Is it a cloud or is it a sheep? I don't know. But it's pretty fabulous. So it's felted. This is the large size. The small size was really small. And on the inside, it's lavender. So it's a lavender sheep. Right? Sometimes it's kind of hard because I'm here by myself and I'm like, right? Then I like wait for a pause. Like, you're actually going to talk back. Talk back at me at home. I would listen to you if you were here, I promise. So I love this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I love it. I really do. Okay, so I got that. And then I got, like, all a little discombobulated. I went to this woman's place with Chrissy because she's an enabler, and called the Fiber Addict. There we go. So I got several things from her. She's actually the one that I bought the most from. She had some dyed roving, or top. She had dyed top, and she had undyed yarn skeins. I love this. I know it's cream and it's boring, but I'm probably going to try to dye it. And this is a DK weight. I think you could pull off a light worsted with it. And 380 yards in 4 ounces. Amazing. It's got so much air in it. It feels like clouds. Not clouds, but it's so squishy. Let's see if I can get a good. It's a nice 2-ply. And I'm pretty sure I could get away with a worsted on it, but we'll see. It's really, really nice. And her prices were phenomenal. I'm going to tell you. Especially if you don't mind undyed. So a 380 yard skein of a DK weight, this was $15. I mean, really, I can't shake a stick at that. We got a sorter quantity for $60. I mean, wow. And it's nice. It's really, really nice. So I got 4 of these. I'm sorry, I can't stop talking about it. It's awesome. And I also got her sock, which again is undyed. Not uber interesting, but it is 450 yards and 3 ounces. And it's 100%. There's no nylon or anything. So it will make a really nice shawl or something like that. I'll probably dye it as well. Because why not? Gotta try her out, right? I was thinking for these prices, I can do it. Sorry, now I have all the skeins in here because I have no show notes, so I didn't go through anything, so I'm semi-ill prepared. You're getting the real deal Kayla right now. Woo! Okay, so I also made a few more stops. And I went to Huckleberry Knits. And I got this piece of goodness. It's 40% superwash merino, 40% merino, and 20% silk. And it's like a blue black. I'm very excited. I love this color, but also what totally sold me is that I love this blend. It's not super easy to find anymore. So I got one of those. That was exciting. And then I got a kit from a local yarn store in Corvallis called Stash. And they're cute. Their entire setup was so cute. Oh, they had pom-poms, people. Little handmade pom-poms. Totally sold me. But so this is some hazel knits in her sock. And it's a 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. This colorway is called Portobello. And this colorway here is called, hold on, Bloom. Sorry. And they tied them together. And if you got these two, then you got a pattern. So the pattern that it was is this that came with the kit, the pendulum. And it's super cute. But I don't think that's what that's going to end up being. But I may knit this in the future. But heck yeah. That was great. I stayed there for a long time and chatted to those girls. Super, super nice, super cute. We're almost done. I felt like such a glutton too, but we're almost done. So, sorry, I am unraveling. Revel? No, never mind. I'm unpacking. I got this cute charm. Hopefully it'll focus. Here, if I want to block out my face. You can see it. I'm trying to turn it. You know how hard it is to want to look at yourself to see if you're focused, but there we go. It's a little sheep. How cute, stinking cute is that? It's like a little sheep pull. I don't know what I'm going to use it on, but man, it's so cute. And I got that from Miss Pearl. I got a few other things from her as well. So we'll look at that in just a second. And she was so nice. So I got, and I looked at this stuff last year and I really wanted one. So I got a case and some stitch markers. All my stitch markers go in one of those, well, until today, because I've been saving all of this stuff and not touching it until I showed you guys. But went into one of those Michaels like plastic sleeveys because I have tons of those great O-rings from them. Or I would just throw them in the middle of my bag. I keep on losing them. I wonder why. I'm throwing like this little tiny thing in the bottom of a big bag. So I got a little tin dedicated to it, and I'm super excited. I wanted them last year, and I looked at this tin twice. So it sold me. She had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different tins, and it was super difficult. So I liked it so much and had so much fun looking at. What? I got another one. So look at this one. And those beads are a little bit reflective. I thought it was so cute and springy. I don't know why I needed to, but I did. You asked me at that point when I was checking out, I totally needed to. I may have had a third one in my hand, but I had to stop at some point. So what is the last thing I got? There. So I'm sorry. This is so super boring, but again, super excited about it. I got 2 pounds of American Tarhi blend. So American top. Just a natural. Why did you get 2 pounds, Kayla? I got 1 pound and then I went back. So I got 2 pounds because I think I'm going to spin 1 natural. And a pound is enough for us. We'll see if I can get a sweater out of it. If I can't get a sweater out of a pound, then I thought, well, I could get this. And I'm going to experiment with spinning it and then dyeing it. Or I should have enough left over, at least 4 to 8 ounces, to try to dye it as well. And I've never dyed roofing. Woo! So it was fabulous. I think worked out to like 94 cents an ounce or something like that. All right, people. By the second day, I was on fume highs and the buying high of awesomeness. I had to physically leave because Hanson spinners were there as well. And I sat down at the Hanson booth for like 30 minutes and spun. Dang, it was wonderful. And I totally want one. But I had to call my husband. And he told me I could have one if I wanted to. And I'm like, you have to tell me I can't have one right now because I'm going to buy it. He's like, oh, you totally can't have one. You're just going to have to deal with the cherry wheel you have. It's such a hardship, Kayla. And I was like, I know. Okay. So I walked away. So last year, I sat down and I didn't love it. I was like, it's really nice, but I don't love it. And I sat down this year and I was like, I really, really like it. I think by next year, I'll probably be ready to get one. But I walked away. So, good for me, right? Always something you can get in the future. But anyway, so that's awesome. So I got 2 pounds of this. It's wonderfully prepped. And I'm excited about it. And then I got my Into the World Club shipment. Do you guys want to see it? Yeah, now that I said it, you probably want to see it. I apologize. I have to bend down here. It is the Blakc End of Innocence Merino Silk 50/50. I have 2 of these. Hilarious. Last week I talked about how much blue she's been having. No blue. I think she did it just to spite me. I love it. It's super pretty. I'm excited to spin it up. I can't wait to see what it'll be. What it'll turn out to be. So I have to talk fast, but my rants and raves. Other than it being fabulous to go to this, to be surrounded by people and talk to people, and I really like to talk to strangers at these things because everyone is so open. You know, they're like, oh, how are you? Hi, how are you? Duh. But what have you been getting? What are you looking at? And so that was tons of fun to be around people that want to talk about knitting and yarn and fiber all the time, and to be on yarn fumes with you. That's just fabulousness. It was super amazing to me, all of the people behind the businesses that helped me pick out things and answer my questions and just basically dealt with me. And I really appreciate them and their patience. It was wonderful. And meeting Chrissy was totally a highlight for me. And dinner was really nice. So it was one of the best weekends I've had in a really long time. It was coming off working 12 days in a row. Of those 12 days, I worked all but 11 to 12 hours a day. A little burnt out. So it was really great. I basically took the whole weekend off. I only worked like 3 or 4 hours. So really for me, that's easy street. And I was so excited. I woke up, I'm like, I have this weekend off. I'm sleeping in. Saturday morning, 6:30 in the morning, the dogs are whining. Now I was like, I'm going to be a good dog owner. I'm going to get up, I'm going to let them out, I'm going to go back to bed. I'm going to feed them, and they'll be happy. They can just lay back down and chill out. So I let them out. I have 2 dogs. I have my dog and my husband's dog. My husband loves his dog. And I will insert a picture. Okay, I'm back. I didn't even really have to pause, but anyways. And she's about 1 and some, 1.5 maybe. And she ran away. She saw a cat, a turkey, a deer, I don't know, but she took off. My house backs up to state land, like over 100 acres. I think it's over 200 actually, but it's up a pretty huge hill. And so I was ticked. I wasn't, well, first of all, you know how you get like that mad anger? I was mad because it was 6:30 in the morning and my dog wouldn't come back and I just wanted to go to sleep. So after I got over that, I totally did. I did everything I could think of. So I was freaking out that my husband, who's on vacation, I was like, oh my gosh, you leave and I lose your dog. You are going to kill me. So I finally, after like 3 hours of just doing everything I could think of, I have never lost a dog. Never. I've never misplaced an animal, a child, nothing. I've never had like that sense of doom. Like, oh my gosh, this is totally my fault. What if they get hurt? It was quite the experience, and I never want to repeat it again. Just wait. So I took a hike up the hill about only a half a mile in. But I'm by myself. I'm on state land. I'm not easy to get to. People would not know where to find me. The entrance to the trail is behind my house, and you have to go on my property to get to it. It's not like it's frequented by anyone but us. So, I only went as far in as I felt comfortable, that if I fell or if something happened, I could not maybe easily, but I could make it back. So I left scent trails. I took my other dog. She left scent trails. I ended up going up there twice, just screaming until my voice was hoarse. Long story short, 5 hours later, she came back, covered in bites and fleas, and had a washer. And I was just like, it is my one morning off in 12 days, dog. Come on. I was so disappointed. I just wanted to be at the Fiber Festival. You know, it's like all those things happen when you're just trying to do something for yourself. So fast forward, we get all that done. The dog is back. The dog is safe, healthy, awesome. I go do my thing. I come back. She's a doll. And the rest of the Saturday night, all of Sunday, she's sucking up because she knows I'm mad at her. So what happens Monday morning at, you guessed it, 7 o'clock in the morning? She takes off again. Oh, it's fabulous. This one was more my fault, but she came back after a few hours. But I had to like call into work. But I could work from home, so I managed until she came back. But I was just ticked. So tell you what, went to the store. I got electric collars, new batteries. Done with that. Never not going to have batteries that run out ever again. It was awful and horrible. But see, every good thing, I swear, it's like Newton's law. Every force has a reaction. I can only take so much positive goodiness, and then I get something crapped on me back. Woohoo! But thank goodness, she's fine. Just, man, it gets your adrenaline going. I seriously thought something awful was going to happen. So it ended happy. It was a great week. I'm sorry it was scant on the knitting. I would probably say it's going to be scant for the next few weeks until I get that done. And then, wait, another shop for the same woman for her shower. So that one will be a chart a week as well. And I gotta focus here. I gotta get these done. Because then there's other things behind it that other people want. And then I think I am like this project, the other shawl, and 2 projects deep. And then the 5th project, it's going to be totally me, man. And these are not like little things. These are ginormous things. Lastly, somebody asked me what happened to like my orange sweater or my dad's socks. If I didn't knit on them, I'm not going to show them. Unless someone tells me, I totally want you to show the same thing you showed. So what I'm doing now is when I get sick of that shawl, I'll do the sleeves on my sweater. So I'm so happy to be able to share this all with you guys. Please leave a comment or a rating on iTunes. Come join the Ravelry group. When we hit 2 more people, we will do a drawing for a pattern up to $10, a nice giveaway for everyone that's joined the group. I really appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch me, and I'm just excited. I'm so excited to be able to do this every week. Oh, before I forget what's on Jackie, really quick. And these are, my mom made them for me, and they're made out of t-shirts and they're necklaces. Aren't they awesome? I totally wear them all the time. They're great. Not knitting, but totally handmade and made with love. So hope you guys have a wonderful week. Knit with love, and I will talk to you soon. Bye out, y'all.